today on the podcast, we want to talk a little bit about the entire industry of games. There is a really interesting new game development platform called Ceres. They do generative AI games, and they just raised $28 million from Netflix, Dell, and A16Z, a couple other people. They're doing some really interesting things, and we want to just talk about the entire state of the industry, where this is going, how you can make money in this space, all of the exciting stuff. And before we get into that, what I wanted to say, if you are interested in other ways that you can make money from AI, Jamie and I have a weekly group where we share all of the tips, tricks, and strategies that we're currently using, how much money we're making, what products we're selling, and how we're making money with AI. So that's a school community. The link is in the description. It is $19 a month to join. We would love to have you in it. We're going to bump the price up to $100 a month eventually, but for now it's at a discount. And if you get in now, you lock in. There's an amazing community, over 150 people, all sharing their different side hustles, all sharing their different businesses, how you can scale and grow your business. So if you join the community, you get feedback from them. It's an amazing place. We'd love to have you as part of it. Let's get into the episode. Jamie, I guess this is pretty amazing. $28 million. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Yeah, so I have a theory because I've seen lots of memes about this. And to be honest, I'm not a huge gamer. If I had more spare time, I might play more video games. But GTA, Grand Theft Auto 6, people have been waiting for. They made an announcement for it. And it's been like years and it hasn't come out yet. I have a theory that they are trying to integrate AI into the game because if you're not familiar with the game, basically it's supposed to be like a free roam world where you can do whatever you want. And up to this point in the previous versions, they've had a lot of variety as far as different radio stations you can listen to, different random things people say to you on the street. It's a very random game, and it's supposed to be like real life. I feel like adding an AI element to it is really what would take it to next level and kind of be like, you can never play the same game twice because it's always changing and evolving. So I kind of think that's my theory, is that they're trying to integrate AI into this. All that to say, I think AI will have a huge impact on gaming moving forward because, like I said, if you have AI integrated into a game, there's no reason to ever stop playing the game because if you love it, it will always be changing. And I think that's obviously what the developers want, is you to keep playing the game. So all that to say,
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely genius. I think that's 100% where the industry's going, and that's a great hunch on Grand Theft Auto. Because you think about it, if every single person that was walking around any video game, Grand Theft Auto, anything, but if every single person, they said like, here's your backstory. If anyone talks to you about it, tell them about this, tell them about that. Like, they could just say it in a different way, a different thing every time. You could give like very, very elaborate backstories to essentially these NPC, these non-player characters in video games. Like, oh my gosh, that's insane. Think of how much backstory you could give them, like a 20-page document, like a book for every single person, their backstory, and they could just tell you different things every time. And yeah, you could listen to the radio. You think about what Google just did with their Notebook LM, where essentially you give it a topic and it has it turns it into a podcast with two AI voices talking about it, and it sounds really like engaging and interesting. Imagine if in Grand Theft Auto they literally said, like, scrape the daily news every day of the real world, and if you tune into the radio station, there's an AI podcast hosts talking on any radio station about like any topic and any, like, it becomes like a real world. You're listening to like a real radio and you're talking to like real people about real things and real business. Like, oh my gosh, that'll be absolutely insane. So obviously this is where the future is going. That is why I think Ceres, this Gen AI game development platform, they've been able to raise so much money, $28 million. They're getting them from a lot of big people in the entertainment space, Netflix and whatnot, because they're putting it towards these kind of things where they can turn these NPCs into really rich, fully developed characters. They can haggle with you. They can do all sorts of things. So I think that's really fascinating. What do you think opportunities, I'm just curious your take on this, to make money, Jamie, from all of this money going into gaming? Like, how would people listening like capitalize on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, I think it might be a ways off, realistically, ways to make money from it. But my mind goes back to the YouTube idea in creating YouTube series. So a few years ago, actually, I had mentioned this on the channel before, but I forgot what the name of the show was. But in 2018, there was a show released called Bandersnatch, and it was on Netflix. And basically, it would play, 5 to 7 minutes of the movie or the show, and then it would give you two options. So like, do you want to be friendly to this person, or do you want to ignore them and keep walking? And based on what you chose, the story would change. And so I feel like in the future, if you, I think this will be kind of, this kind of goes along with the gaming, but maybe even shows. I'm going back to the kids show idea because I think, I have kids, young kids, and so they're always watching different shows and things. But if you could make educational content that was like, um, two different, a red star and a green star, and say which one is the red star, and if they could click, and it would give them a result based on what they clicked on. It could be, I think, education moving forward could almost use the same AI type, learning to teach people. So I don't know. I think, again, things we mentioned before is that having just the knowledge and being aware of some of these things is a win, and can make you money moving forward just from a knowledge standpoint. So
Okay, here's a funny idea. I don't know if this is actually going to materialize to make money, but I just think this would be really funny. Okay, so I think the most obvious answer is like creating content around this. Like if anyone's putting $28 million into generative AI gaming, becoming a consultant for the gaming industry, if this is an area that you're interested in, and helping, talk about different AI things and ways they can implement it. Like, yes, that's obviously a way to make money. Here's my future prediction. We mentioned, right? Like you're going to be in these games and the NPCs are going to have these really rich backstories and whatever. Where did they going to get the data from that? My theory of a way that people will be making money in the very near future is that if you went and created a giant document of a fictional person's backstory, like very detailed, hundreds of pages of things that have happened throughout their whole life, and you could use ChatGPT to help you compile this. I bet you if you made a bunch of those, you could license those to video game companies to use that data for their NPCs so they didn't have to go and come up with backstories from people. I think a platform that does that would be really interesting. Now that we're talking about it, I'm like tempted to actually develop that because that sounds like really cool. Like imagine a marketplace where anyone can upload like backstories that video games can like license for NPCs, like NPC backstory marketplace. That's a great idea. Might do it. We'll
there
see.
you go.
But anyways, so many different ways to make money from this right now. So much money is going into AI. I think people need to be focused on this. Such a fascinating area to see how this is developing in the future.
Yeah, I mean, even from an investing standpoint, if you if you are passionate about gaming, find an AI company like Ceres who's doing exciting things with AI, and if you can have that foresight in the future to be like, this is what the future of gaming is, you could make yourself a solid investment and make good money that way as well. So just another thought I had.
100%. So much is
Anyways,
happening. I think this is exciting. If you enjoyed the episode today, we would love it if you could leave us a review. We really appreciate them. And if you're interested in ways that Jamie and I are currently monetizing AI to make money for different side hustles, go check out our school community. We record exclusive content. This week, we have a really juicy episode all about using AI tools and trends specifically to make money on Etsy and some other platforms. Some really interesting things people are doing to make about $35,000 a month. So fascinating. I would love to have you as part of the school community. The link is in the description.